Hello! Get ready to have fun as we dive into a world of mind-blowing and interesting facts. From the taxonomical journey of the red panda to be surprised to learn how citric acid is made. Let's go! Taxonomy describes the science of naming and classifying plants and animals under different groupings based on their genetics, behavior, and variations in their biochemical buildup. Following this method of scientific classification, red pandas were first classified under the Procyonidae, which is part of the raccoon family. Later, these creatures were classified under the Ursidae family, which is the bear family. However, after genetic studies, red pandas are placed in their own independent family, Ailuridae, which are the only living species in this family. Despite the wildly varying sizes of mammals, sloths and manatees are the only ones who don't have exactly 7 cervical vertebrae. In Japan, the demand for adult diapers has surpassed that of baby diapers. This shift is primarily due to the country's aging population and declining birth rates. Babies go through a lot of diapers. In their first year alone, they can use around 2,500 diapers, and by the time they're fully potty trained, they might have used up to 7,000 diapers. That's a whole lot of diaper changes. Ton 618 stands as a behemoth among black holes, dwarfing even the most colossal stars like our Sun. Its mass, estimated at approximately 66 billion times that of the Sun by NASA, defies easy comprehension. Sodium lauryl sulfate, a foaming agent in toothpaste, can temporarily mute your sweet taste buds. This explains why orange juice, or any sweet food or drink, might taste different after brushing your teeth. Spicing up your baked goods with cinnamon does more than add flavor. Cinnamaldehyde, a powerful compound found in cinnamon, acts as a natural mold inhibitor. This helps keep your bread and other treats fresher for longer by slowing down mold growth. While it's commonly referred to as ginger root, ginger is in fact a rhizome, a stem that grows underground. The Spanish national anthem has no lyrics. The color your eyes see in complete darkness is called Eigengrau. In 2021, more than 450 million Rubik's Cubes were sold worldwide, making it the best-selling puzzle game of the year. Since its invention, millions of Rubik's Cubes have been sold yearly. I'm guessing that people were bored at that time. Wonder why? Following its debut in 1974, the Rubik's Cube experienced a remarkable ascent, surpassing all expectations. Throughout the 1980s, it captured widespread fascination, becoming a coveted item for many. Such was its allure that in 1981, a book detailing how to solve the Rubik's Cube soared to bestseller status, boasting over 6 million copies sold. In 2012, Toyota broke the record for being the first auto manufacturer to make 10 million cars in a year. So far, the company has manufactured up to 300 million vehicles. The 300 Club is the name given to people who have experienced an instantaneous 166 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit drop in temperature. Michael Faraday was a brilliant scientist who made significant contributions to our understanding of electricity and magnetism. He didn't just make discoveries, he also invented some of the words we use to talk about them, like ion, cathode, and anode. Silver is highly reflective, reflecting around 95% of visible light. This makes it one of the most reflective metals. Argentina is named after silver. It is derived from the Latin word argentum, which means silver. The explorers who first encountered native communities in the region were presented with silver gifts, and the name stuck. In 2023, Mexico held the title of the leading producer of silver, churning out an impressive 6,400 metric tons of this precious metal. However, it's worth noting that other countries in the region also contribute significantly to the global silver production. Among them, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, and Peru play essential roles in adding to the world's silver supply. While lemons were the traditional source of citric acid, science stepped in. Today, a special black mold called Aspergillus niger efficiently produces a staggering 99% of citric acid worldwide. Aspergillus oryzae, a specific mold strain, serves as a vital component in the creation of soy sauce. Frequently introduced to soybeans and roasted grain during the fermentation process, it highlights the beneficial role molds can play within the ecosystem. Every year, mold destroys more wood than floods, fires, and termites combined. There are no significant differences between locusts and grasshoppers. Locusts are a type of grasshopper. All locusts are grasshoppers, but not all grasshoppers are locusts. Less than 20 grasshopper species worldwide have the potential to become locusts. Locusts exist in two states: gregarious and solitary. Individually, the insects are calm and aren't as destructive. However, when they form a swarm, they undergo polyphenism that causes behavioral and psychological changes. Even their color changes to brown. Imagine a peaceful grasshopper living a solitary life. Now picture a scenario where these grasshoppers undergo a physical and behavioral transformation, turning into a hungry, social, and highly mobile swarm. That's the essence of a locust. The main difference boils down to behavior triggered by environmental factors. Solitary grasshoppers can transform into swarming locusts under the right conditions. The tumbleweed, an iconic symbol of the Wild West, harbors a surprising secret. It's an immigrant. This rolling nuisance, known as Russian thistle, actually hails from Asia. Don't forget to subscribe. Male horses typically possess 4 additional teeth compared to females, as female horses rarely develop canine teeth. Imagine a rocket or even a tiny object, a mere speck, needs to travel at a mind-blowing 40,270 kilometers per hour or 25,020 miles per hour to break free of Earth's gravity. That's the power of escape velocity. Despite their dramatically different colors, sapphires and rubies share a surprising secret. They're both the same mineral, corundum. The presence of tiny impurities unlocks a hidden rainbow within this crystal, turning it fiery red, ruby, or cool blue, sapphire. In the weightlessness of space, the absence of gravity alters the dynamics of fluid movement within the body, often leading fluids to ascend toward the head. This upward shift exerts pressure on the eyeballs, resulting in their flattening and the subsequent swelling of the optic nerve. Essentially, microgravity physically transforms eyeballs, which poses significant risks. Although you probably have a specific picture in mind of what a hummingbird looks like, there's more than just one kind. There are actually over 300 species in all, which explains why there are so many small variations in the colors and patterns of the feathers. Many hummingbirds die after only 1 year. However, it is possible for them to live anywhere from 3 to 7 years if they aren't killed by a predator or by habitat loss. And some hummingbirds have even been known to live up to 14 years. A general rule of thumb is that the larger the species is, the longer it can live. While Komodo dragons may have fragile teeth, mainly used to tear into rotten flesh, researchers say the huge monitors have some venom stored in their lower jaws. When they bite their prey, the venom prevents the victim's blood from clotting, leading to persistent bleeding and eventually death. The venom is so poisonous that it can take out a water buffalo even though not immediately. Komodo dragon saliva also has a lot of deadly bacteria that can cause infections that lead to sepsis to their targets. So basically, they just have to wait for their prey to succumb. Komodo are the biggest lizards. Not easy to distinguish between a male and female dragon. One of the factors that most people use to determine this is size. Male Komodo dragons are usually bulkier than their female counterparts. The biggest Komodo dragon's record size remains 10 feet and 2 inches. The Komodo dragon's longest lifespan is around 30 years. Mars's smallest moon, Deimos, has an escape velocity of 5.2 meters per second, meaning that if you take a running jump while on it, you will launch off like a slow rocket. Most British citizens reside within 20 miles of their birthplace. It took humans more time to go from bronze swords to steel swords than steel swords to nuclear bombs. A manta ray is 23 feet or 7 meters long and 3 tons, easily outweighs most cars. Spectrophobia is a kind of specific phobia involving a morbid fear of mirrors. People with ephemophobia may try to avoid places where teenagers often gather, like arcades, high schools, shopping malls, gaming cafes, and movie theaters. This is because being around teenagers can cause them anxiety. Globophobia is an intense and irrational fear of balloons. People with globophobia experience anxiety or even panic attacks at the sight, sound, touch, or even smell of balloons. The first 1080p video on YouTube was the Muppets' rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody. Amazing job on this trivia adventure. Feeling like a brainiac? We've got more mind benders coming your way, so hit that subscribe button. Want to challenge your curious friends? Share this video and see who comes out on top. What fact blew your mind the most? Leave a comment below. We love hearing your thoughts.